Get ready to create a memorable handprint cardinal. We're going to start by creating the snowy background for our cardinal. So you need a white crayon and a white paper, and just go and add little white dots all over your paper. So here I'm showing you how to make the white dots correctly. You want them nice, neat little filled in dots. You do not want messy little circles like this, or to stab your paper like this, dab, 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 dab. That's not going to look as pretty as those nice, neat dots. So take your time creating the nice, neat dots, and when you are done doing that, you're going to get your blue watercolor paint and paint your entire paper blue. Make sure you get all the edges, and then you are going to salt the paper just a little bit. And that's going to create a really magical effect once it's dry. So it kind of looks like snow flurries everywhere. Okay, so now that our paper is nice and dry, we are ready to draw and paint our tree branch. So you want to draw it at the bottom of your paper. And I'm not doing a perfectly straight line all the way across my paper because I don't want it to look just like a brown stripe. So I'm adding little small branches coming off my big branch to give it a little interest here, bending them different directions. Just a few is all you need. And once you're happy with that, you can get your brown paint and paint your tree branch in. So when you go along the edges, you want the edge of your tree branch to be nice and smooth. So try to get a nice, solid, smooth, fluid line. Once you are done painting that, wash your paintbrush and get ready for your handprint. So we're gonna paint your hand. You can also probably just dip it in the paint, making sure everything's nice and covered evenly. And then I will help you carefully stamp your hand on your paper and then carefully pull up. And then we can fill in those empty spaces with the paintbrush that may not have touched the paper to finish filling in your handprint. Once that's dry, we will need to get our black colored pencil and carefully outline the entire hand. Now you want to go over each part of your line several times and press down so you have a nice, pretty, dark black line all the way around. And at the very top of your thumb, notice I have a little pointy thumb there. That's the top of the cardinal's head. So give the top of your thumb a little point there. And continue outlining everything. And then you can make your wing in the palm of your hand. It's just two curved lines. And then you join it by some little scallop lines or little pointy lines there. Add a little texture by adding some light little wispy lines. See how I have just some small lines. I'm not pressing real hard, just to give a little texture, like for the feathers. And then also at the bottom, give it little lines for the texture, and draw some nice dark legs. So you have to go over it a few times. You can't just do one line for the legs and the feet. And now I'm moving on to my tree branch, and I'm outlining my tree branch just like I did my handprint. So you want to make sure that you go over it several times, nice and carefully, so you have a nice dark thick line. And then when you're done with that, you can add your texture to your tree branch. So just a few little wavy lines, maybe some swirly lines, and that'll give your tree branch a really cool texture to it and not make it look so flat. Okay, so now we are ready to make the face. We need a little black triangle and then a little orange triangle. All right, so I just took my black paper, drew a nice triangle on it, and cut it out. Make sure it fits correctly on your cardinal. Give it a little test run before you glue it down. Do your orange beak on the orange paper and outline it nice and neatly with your black colored pencil, or a Sharpie would work too. And then I just drew the center of the beak, the opening of the mouth, with the black colored pencil. And then I took my white colored pencil and I added a little line at the top of the beak to make it look shiny. And then I cut them out and I glued them out. And remember, guys, Dot, dot, not a lot, right? We don't need a ton of glue on these little bitty pieces. So just a little bit goes a long way. Glue them where they go, and then we're gonna do the eye. So I just took a pencil and I dipped the eraser part in the paint, and I just did one little stamp for my eye. We can also add some fun little snowflakes. So I have these snowflake shaped sponges that I made. Just dip it in a little bit of paint and gently press to make sure it's all getting pressed onto your paper. You're stamping your little snowflakes. So you want to kind of spread them out on the background. You can put them on your sky, you can put them over the tree branch, but stay away from putting on top of your bird. So I'm just randomly kind of spreading them out like we have a big snowfall and all these beautiful snowflakes. Some are kind of coming off the edge. Do not make them touch each other or overlap, because then it's going to look really messy. You want to see each individual snowflake falling. And now that my little white eye is dry, I'm going to add a tiny little black dot in the middle of it with the end of a small paintbrush. So he has his little pupil. And for my very final touch, I decided it would look really nice if we had some snow that was sitting on the tree branch. So you could probably actually do this before the snowflakes, but either way works. I am taking a small brush with some really stiff bristles, and I'm not painting back and forth. I'm going up and down. I'm just dab, 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 dab. So I'm kind of stamping it up and down so that it creates a cool snowy texture. And I'm just doing the top edge of my snow branch. So you want to keep it inside the snow branch, just at the very top edge of it. And just a little bit so it looks like some snow has settled down on your tree branch. And there we have our Handprint Cardinal that will be so cherished for years to come. Thank you guys for creating with me.